What's going on, guys? It's your boy Boxing Facts Over Fiction. I want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification icon for more videos like this. Abel Sanchez is always in the media for saying some of the craziest stuff, but I think Abel Sanchez kept it real in this interview. So I have to break this interview down, and I'm going to do that for you guys. Break this interview down clip by clip. Abel Sanchez, pay attention.
Tell here one of the best trainers in the world, Abel Sanchez. Abel, what'd you think of Terence Crawford tonight?
That looked great. That looked fantastic. He did everything he wanted to do. It's actually an easy fight for him. I would have liked the corner to have stopped the fight maybe the round before. He hasn't won a round. There's no reason for him to take a beat like that.
Now, I gotta ask you, the fight everybody wants to see with Bud is Errol Spence. Who would win that fight, Abel?
Errol Spence is one of my favorites coming out of the Olympics.
You guys, you heard what Abel Sanchez said. He agreed with almost everybody who's seen the fight. The fight was a one-sided fight by Terence Crawford. He won every single round, and we all wanted the corner to throw it in the towel. But we wanted to see a beatdown as well. And the ref did stop the fight, even though I felt like it was a premature stoppage. But the stoppage was inevitable because Terence Crawford was about to kill that man. The ref did the right thing.
Said that he was going to do great things. I thought he would do great things. I think that right now, I'd give the nod to Terence in the next 2 or 3 fights, but give Errol Spence 3 or 4 fights with elite competition. It's going to be very hard to beat Errol Spence.
But it's interesting you say that, because I think most people would think it'd be Terence who'd need the 2 or 3 fights to get used to welterweight.
No, he was used to welterweight a long time ago. No, it's not the weight. It's the experience that Terence has in bigger fights.
Then Abel Sanchez was asked, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, who do you believe wins? He says he's been a fan of Errol Spence, so he's not biased. He's been a fan of Errol Spence for a long time, but he believes at this stage right now, Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence Jr. And I agree with Abel Sanchez. Errol Spence loses to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has 33 fights, 33 wins, 24 KOs. He has way more experience, and he's been in the bigger fights.
It's like he's had as a junior welterweight in championship fights. That makes a big difference. And I think, but Errol, give him 3 or 4 shots like this, it's going to be difficult to beat.
Stylistically, if Spence fights Crawford the way we've always seen him, he's along with Gennady, he's the best at cutting the ring off and getting to you. So if he tries to fight Crawford like that,
right now Crawford's a little too slick for him, in my opinion. Even though Errol is a very good fighter, he's going to be a great fighter eventually. Terence is a little too slick for him right now. He's more calculating. I think he's been in more positions and more situations than Errol has to figure the inexperience of Errol would play a part in how Crawford handled him.
Now, along with Gennady, everybody has the top 3: Gennady, Crawford, and Lomachenko. So between,
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that Crawford's number 2. In my opinion, Golovkin's number 1. I think Lomachenko's number 3, only because Lomachenko hasn't accomplished as much as Terence.
Abel Sanchez then went on to break down the fight even more. He says, Terence Crawford is just too slick, too fast, has more experience. Errol Spence is a great fighter, but he just believed Terence Crawford. At this stage, is the better fighter. He believed Errol Spence needs at least 3 or 4 more fights to make the fight closer. 3 or 4 more fights to make the fight closer.
Terence has.
So you would put Crawford a little ahead of Lomachenko?
Yeah. Lomachenko's a beautiful fighter. I love the way he fights, but I don't think he has accomplished as much as Terence has accomplished in the manner that he's accomplished it, dominating like he has.
If we put accomplishments aside and resume, and it's just skills, is Crawford still the slightly better fighter?
Right now, yes.
Why is that?
It's more balanced all the way around. Not balanced, obviously, in the way he fights, but just his choice of punches, his movement, his position, how he sets himself up. He's always under control. Lomachenko sometimes is, because he moves so well and does so many things, sometimes he's out of control. Terence is not.
Seems like Crawford gets hit a little less.
Yeah, not only hit it, but the way that he positions himself to attack, and the way that he thinks things.
Then Abel Sanchez was asked about pound for pound. He says he's going to put his fighter, Gennady Golovkin, at number 1. That's expected. But then he went on to being honest by saying he's putting Terence Crawford at number 2, Lomachenko at number 3. Reason being is Lomachenko hasn't accomplished as much as Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has more accomplishments than
Lomachenko's not quite there, just like I'm talking about Errol. The experience is just not there, you know, in a longer fight. In a 3-round fight, as an amateur fight, you had 400 amateur fights, yeah, maybe so. But in a long fight where you have to prepare round by round, minute by minute of every round, in the second part of a fight, the first part of the fight, I think Terence is much better.
Then the reporter said, let's put away the accomplishments. Let's put the accomplishment to the side. Let's just talk about the skills. Abel Sanchez went on and say, Terence Crawford is the best. When it comes to the skills, Terence Crawford has these skills, has the experience. He's always in position for the best punches. He's well versatile. He's always balanced, and he doesn't get hit. Lomachenko gets hit too much. I agree with Abel Sanchez.